Hey there, welcome back to Owl Dragon Adventures. I'm Scott Kegler.
And I'm Rob McPherson.
And this is our review of Dragons of Etchinstone by Mythfield Games. So this is the copy that was printed by the Game Crafter through a recent crowd sale that Mythfield Games did. It is designed by Joe Klipfel, who runs, I think, does all of the games for them. I think he's the only designer. I think it's just his company.
I think so, yeah.
So I was interested in this one on Game Crafter. I'd heard good things about this one when it was a print and play game. And essentially it is another palm of your hand type game here, where the entire deck of cards is to be oriented similar to things like Palm Island.
Yep.
Where you're going to be, in this game, Dragons of Etchinstone, working your way through 4 regions, fighting monsters and journeying through different territories until you make your way to a dragon for a final fight with a dragon. The game is played over, I think it's 4 regions or 4 rounds or 4 times through the deck of cards. And then the dragon is just basically one time through that same deck when you do that fight.
Yep, so the mechanics of the game, pretty simple. You're going to look at the key over here to figure out what you are doing in that turn. So in this case, I don't think you can see this on here, but it is a monster, and it's going to be the first monster. So I know that this monster here, which you definitely cannot see, is going to be the one I'm fighting. So he's got 17 health. He's going to give, this is Burning Basin. This is the 3rd tier. I was like, why is this thing going to kill me? So this guy has 7 health and will give you 4 experience. And then it tells us the initiative here, which is initiative of 8. So this gets fast. And he's got 1 attack against yellow and
he
1
has
yellow
shield.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the information that you need to know. And then you're going to look through your hand of 4 cards. You're going to choose 3 of them to play. One of them's the main attack card that's going to, the main activity.
It's your leader card.
Action card. Your leader card, thank you. And you're going to be able to, so this is a 3 attack, let's say. Mm-hmm. And then, but if I played a yellow card as the secondary card.
The element card.
Thank you. You get it to be a 6. So this would be a bad card to play, but like here I can do, that's be a bad card to play too. But anyways, I'm not going to try to play it on screen. But you can activate the lower ability by playing that type of element, the gray element. And then you're going to have your boost card, which is going to add its boost value to it. Oh, and then your initiative comes from the element card as well.
Correct. And the boost can either go to the leader card action, so your attack or your journey, or it can go to your initiative, the boost value. So you can potentially, like if you, let's just say for argument's sake that we had already upgraded a card, we could add a +5 to this 5 initiatives to beat that 8. So that we could actually
not take the initial damage.
Not take the starting damage of the fight.
So then there's 3 ways that the encounter reaches an outcome. 1, you win, and you get the experience, which you can spend on upgrading cards. The experience value to upgrade is right on the top here. 2, you can get more than half of the value that you need to defeat it, which lets you still get the experience, but you take the penalty from it as well. So either damage or time if it's a journey. Or 3, you just lose outright. You don't get any experience and you take the penalty. You want to avoid that last one as much as humanly possible. There's also other mitigation levels. You can keep wandering, what is it called? You can journey forward. It's basically you can take this card, put it in the back. You lose one of your cards as well, but it lets you have a different encounter essentially.
And there's different mitigating factors for the different types of encounters that may change those rules slightly. As far as like maybe you won't have as much. Your boost will be impacted lesser, like at nighttime fights.
Yep.
Some units have range, which means so every time in your turn you're going to use 3 cards for your leader, your element, and your boost. And you would save your unused card for the next round because you're only going to draw 3 for the next round. But in a ranged fight, you have to also discard your unused card, so you're going with your deck faster.
Right.
But when you get experience, you're basically going to flip over a card or rotate it depending on where you're at. So 2 would become a 3, so tell you to flip over. And that part is very similar to things like Palm Island.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's the gameplay. So in terms of gameplay, the only real critique that I have of it is that I've got I've got large hands. I've got gangly fingers. This is not a palm game.
Well, we talked about this. Like, it's a great travel game for gameplay. Like, I've been playing it a lot. Like, even on the couch. But I need somewhere where I can like.
Your hand needs to be laid out.
I like to look at it because I want to make sure I'm understanding like what's my lead.
Yep.
Okay, like this is my lead.
Yeah.
There's my okay, great. So my journey is 7 now.
You theoretically can play this handheld. I will say.
But then
that.
you're doing like this. You're like, okay,
yeah.
what am I?
You saw me shuffling with it.
And then you're like holding a card over here while you're.
And it's not really a ding against the game now because the only thing I think needs to be laid out is the hand, and at most in the last fight it's going to be 8 cards.
Yeah.
You can play this on a plane just fine because even that tiny little tray table can hold enough. So it is a very, very portable game. I just think it overbills itself a little bit as a handheld game and no tabletop required. That's my personal thoughts.
Versus like again, not to compare it just to Palm Island because there's other handheld games out there. Palm Island truly can be played just in the one hand.
Exactly. But yeah. So that's the only real ding I have for gameplay. I broke this out. I was just in a show recently, and I'm off stage for about 6 pages of dialogue, which can be a long time. So I would sit there and I'd play through a round as I'm waiting for my cue line. Sorry, Shane, it happened.
You know, it's so funny too. Like, this is how well I know you and what games we're playing right now. I knew an actress in the show that was with him, and she was talking like, yeah, he was playing some card game by himself, and I'm like, Dragons of Etchinstone? She's like, I don't know. I bet she was Dragons of Etchinstone.
It was Dragons of Etchinstone,
yeah. But I agree. I like the gameplay. I same thing. I play it, and I put it out on a table or like the arm of a couch, something.
Yep. So I think it's a high gameplay for me.
Oh, absolutely. I love the... even though it's kind of got a rhythm and I know it, like, and because I played it quite a bit since I've gotten my copy of it, I was still enjoying the gameplay.
Yeah.
Accessibility, it's pretty accessible.
Yeah.
The rules, I had to kind of revisit things a few times.
Same.
I think it could use, and I can say this because he's got it on a PDF. It's not actually in the copy when you purchase it through GameCrafter.
Yep.
And that's just to keep the price down and keep the packaging down. I didn't mind actually reading it just for a card game this small online.
And it does have...
The icon reference is fantastic.
Yeah, it's got an icon reference on the back, and then on the inside it does have some key hits of rules that you might forget more often. Yeah. So that was a good touch there.
But it took me a few goes just to get the setup of it and understanding a few of like the can't I kind of things.
Right, yep.
But I didn't find it overly complex, but I think probably like a mid-accessibility. For what is relatively not a heavy game. It's still pretty light to medium weight game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
From a design standpoint, I love the graphic design of it. I think some of the art is kind of like...
it reminds me very much of early
old video games. I was just gonna say, like, it's got this old video game, and some of it's kind of charming, some of it's kind of like funny, and like I chuckled at it.
Yep.
Like this guy looks like clearly like out of some sort of like early 90s, late 80s video game.
I'm judging your dragons right now.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
But from the graphic design standpoint, like because at first it's really confusing when you look at the region card when you first get the game.
Oh yeah, I was like, what's going on?
What are the
here?
shenanigans? But once you get into it, you're like, oh okay. Yeah. 1 through 4, here are my monsters. 1 through 4, here are my journeys, journey areas. Very simple. And having played a few of these type of games, like all this made a lot of sense to me.
Same.
The graphics design was easy. Actually, I will say and again, once I knew what all the cards did, very easy to understand.
Yep.
The leader cards and all the other modifiers.
Agreed. Yep. Nope. So
quality. The game is $8.99.
I sleeved it so fast that I didn't even. Okay, so they are linen cards.
They are linen cards, but you shuffle the game a lot. Yep. So we both, this is Rob's copy, but we both sleeved our decks.
And I caused Scott physical pain by sleeving mine backwards from the way he did it.
But so I would recommend sleeving it. So obviously that adds a little bit of cost factoring into what you're going to add on sleeves to the game.
Yeah.
But I think it's necessary.
So much better.
We got on a crowd sale, so it was much cheaper than the $8.99.
Yeah, because you're going to have your hands all the time. Like, I don't care how clean your hands are. You're going to leave oils on the cards. Yeah. It's going to wear them down much faster.
So I highly recommend it. But for $9 on the site, I think this is a steal for this type of a game. If you like If you are a big gamer,
Yep.
and you want that nice, fun tactical sense of like figuring out like what's the best way to work with these
combine
4
the values,
cards,
yep.
and then the exercise of what cards do I improve? Like, do I want to improve this card that hits really hard,
Yep.
or do I like this card that
There's
is
the versatile
cards? Like, so I like all of that.
And you've got to balance.
Yeah,
But it's not, you don't want to just completely balance, because there was one game that I was playing through that I didn't hit a single journey.
right.
And it's just the luck of the shuffle.
Right.
So if I had upgraded my journey cards, then my attacks would have been much weaker come the
Right.
fourth region. So yeah, it's
But I probably played it like
interesting.
30 plus times now already, and I mean I definitely
I
got my
sleep
value.
at night, so I have not.
Well, this is good for me. Like, this is one of these games where what I've really been enjoying it as a gamer dad. Like, I can bring this one upstairs from my game room, and if I'm hanging out with the kids and or they want to put a movie on and I'm not really into it,
Yep.
I like this is what I was saying. I play on the couch. I can literally be setting it up and go through 2 or 3 games,
Right. Yeah.
while they're watching something.
Yep.
And for me, that's perfect for that type of like I have the itch. I want to be doing something, and I don't want to be on my phone.
So yeah, just an interesting note that I thought of too is this. So this was one of the first games we actually picked out on our Eyes for Indies series that we do, and we got really excited when we saw it. And I'm happy to say that I believe it lived up to everything that I was looking forward to when I was looking at that initial crowd sale. Which tells me that the crowd sale and the sales page was very well designed.
Yeah.
It told us exactly what the game was, what to expect, and it delivered on it.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah.
So we did this was in like November, I want to say.
Yeah. So I definitely got to say, and the playtime of 30 minutes, spot on. The only thing I'm going to call you on is table space, none. I would say none-ish.
Yeah.
But no, I really, really enjoy
Maybe
this
change it to
game.
minuscule.
Yeah. I think it's a very solid game, really well designed. Scott actually just reminded me before this that this designer has Gloomholden
Yep.
as a print and play version that he did get permission from Isaac Childress to
Believe so.
produce. So I have that sitting over on my desk. I've never broken into it, but now that I'm reminded this is the same designer, totally going to break that out.
Yeah,
Probably tonight and
it's
figure
got
it
that
out.
one card pirate game too. I cannot remember the name of it offhand, but
I'll put it in the description.
we'll put that in the description. We'll probably check that one out as well because I really enjoyed this one. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what else comes from
Mythfield
you, Joe.
Games,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, from Mythfield Games. Yeah, it's a solid title. I really like it. So where are you landing for a score right now?
Right now for me on this one, I am at a 8 out of 10. It's a very good game. I would highly recommend it for someone to pick up. The score might go up as I continue to play it. I want to see where I'm at with it. But I think it is just a solid recommendation to someone in the hobby that's looking for quick solo games, travel games.
Yep.
This stands up to a lot of one of my go-to recommendations for people. It hit all those boxes would be like a button shy game. And I think this holds up with any of those button shy games.
Although it does fit the bill for Button Shy too.
It is an 18 card game,
Yep.
so yeah, it could very easily be like a button shy type game. I love multi-use card games, so 8 out of 10 right now. Probably will go up from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna land on an 8 as well as of right now. This game will not leave my travel bag. Well, I mean, except for when I'm playing at home. But anytime I'm going to travel for work or anything, or for when we're going to a convention, this is a go-to for me now.
Yeah.
It's a really solid title. It's got the brain burn that you want from a puzzly type game. It's got the small table presence. This is definitely going to be in my train bag and plane bag always. This is coming to Florida with me next month.
Yeah. And those are tough to find, right? Because there's a lot of games that they're small, but because we've learned the hard way by flying together to
so many
cons.
small games, but I can't play them on a plane.
And sometimes they're just not a lot bigger, but just too.
I have yet to find a
much.
button shy I can play on a plane. Their tray tables are just too small.
Rage more.
Yeah, Rage more, but that's barely.
Yeah, it's
a good
But I would put this up with that. It's like Rage more, where and actually I think I like this more than Rage more.
I think it's a solid title. I mean, obviously from the 8, but
definitely check it out. You can find it on the Game Crafter right now. I'm not sure if it's still out there on just general print and play, and maybe, but check that out. But I thought Game Crafter did a good job with the quality of the cards. And for again $9, I think that's a really good deal for this type of a game. Yeah, so 100%. If you have any other questions about it, and if you know the other game, go ahead and leave the comment too as well, or any of the other games that they're working on. Please let us know if you like this video, like and subscribe. With that, we wish you good luck with all of your future board game adventures.
Thank you for joining us on ours.